Hi, I'm Perry Atkinson, General Manager here at theDove. Hey, check out our other videos and check out our website at thedove.us.
Welcome to Focus Today. We have a show packed with wonderful guests this morning, and our first guest is Shawnee Dale. She's a Therapeutic foster care certifier with Family Solutions, and today we're talking about the needs for foster care families here in the Rogue Valley, especially for children with behavioral, emotional, and developmental disabilities. So Shawnee, I want to start by asking you about Family Solutions and what it is.
Family Solutions is a nonprofit organization that helps children and families that are in need of counseling, and we typically work with kids that are in DHS care and custody that have emotional and behavioral disabilities. We have various different programs. We have 2 group homes. One's a boys group home, and it's located in Central Point. There's a girls group home that's located in Medford, and both homes, the girls group home holds 8 girls right now, and the boys group home holds 9 boys. And we also have a day treatment program for kids that are having a hard time in school. There's one in Ashland and one in Grants Pass, and we have an outpatient program. We also have Therapeutic foster care, which is the program that I work in, and we have a school-based, skills-based program that our skills coaches and counselors go into schools and help with some of the needs of the children in schools.
And the website for your organization is familysolutions.org?
Yes.
Okay, easy. All right, so foster care, let's talk about the need of foster care. So do you have numbers? Do you know how prevalent the problem is here in the Rogue Valley?
Well, what I know, and I give referrals every single day for kids that are in need of services based on, we are a higher level of care for foster care. So there's regular DHS care, there's our level of care, which is therapeutic foster care, and then there's residential care. And most of the kids that are having a hard time in regular DHS care due to trauma history or mental health concerns, disabilities that they have acquired through some of the abuse and neglect that they experienced at a young age, that are really having a hard time emotionally regulating themselves. They tend to be harder to handle in a typical foster home. So they refer to our program. We get referrals from all over the state of Oregon. So right now we have a ton of referrals and little to no homes.
So you have kids that have those problems from all over the states coming to your office in Medford, and you need to find families. And so what kind of families are you looking for those kids? What are the credentials?
We're looking for a stable, structured home. We do a rigorous training process where I'm the trainer, and I train the families for 34 hours of initial training. The therapeutic foster home is a skill-based home, so we expect it's like treatment within the home. Our foster parents have to have the ability to be able to teach skills, recognize that these kids have lagging skills, and that's basically why they become deregulated sometimes, and be able to take guidance. We have a team of a case manager, a skills coach, and a therapist that assists them and the child. And I'm always in the background being able to train and assist the foster families, and I keep up on their certifications. They do progress notes to help with the treatment of the kids.
So you're never alone in this? You're not
never
just taking
alone.
the kid on your own?
And we only place one child in a home at a time, based on the fact that these kids really need some individualized care.
So with the kids, I think a lot of people have the intention to help, but it's a little scary when you hear behavioral problems, emotional disability. Can you describe those kids? I mean, are they really that scary, or they just need a little more love and care?
A lot of times, what I've found out, and I've done this line of work for about 6 years, 3 years as a case manager, and I've worked in schools, I've worked in the juvenile detention facility, overall over a 10-year span. And what I've learned with kids with behavioral and emotional disabilities is they're scared and they need to feel safe. They need to know that their environment's safe, that their caretakers are safe, and that their whole world, I mean, is predictable and that they're going to be safe. So when you first get them, they're more probably deregulated than most. We are constantly here for support. Some of them have aggressive behaviors. Some of them have emotional outbursts. If I always look at it, instead of looking at their cognitive age, which is our linear age, look at their cognitive age. And their cognitive age is based on their trauma history. So they may be 12, maybe acting like they're 8 or sometimes 4. And so you have this large child that may be throwing a tantrum. Do they stabilize? Certainly. Do they become, as time goes by and you can go through the hurdles with them, they become more stabilized. They're able to feel safe. Their emotional outbursts are less and less. And that just takes time. It's like climbing a mountain. You know, if you look up, you're never going to make it to the top of the mountain. But if you continue to look down and just keep going and walk over the hurdles and walk over the rocks and get to the top, you'll see an amazing view. And that's how these kids are. And they're amazing. They have such good strengths. And that's what we pull from.
How long usually is the duration that the families take the kids in, or is it kind of indefinite? How?
Well, most of the kids that are in our care, the state has guardianship over. We do voluntary cases as well, but in the most part, these kids need a permanent placement. Okay. So we try our best to match our homes. These kids have been moved 20 different times in their life, and they really need to feel secure.
What happens to those that don't get placed?
A lot of times it's hard. Right now, I have a lot of calls saying, they may stay the night in the DHS office and until we find an emergency bed for them, and then they're going to be moved again. Or if the shelters are full, the residential facilities in the state are full. We really need families that are just great and stable, and you don't have to be perfect, and you can be different. These kids are different, and I work well to find out what's matching. If behaviors that you can't handle or just don't want to go there, it's okay. I won't place a child in your home that's something that you can't handle. So it's really just a lot of communication.
Are families allowed to share their faith?
Yes. Yes, they are. We based on what it says is we want to make sure that the child's needs are being met and they feel safe. We encourage any type of positive interactions with these kids. Anything that's going to be positive and fuel their strengths. Kids thrive in faith-based homes. Now, that being said, you can't force a child to do something they don't want to do. That's definitely not okay, and if they feel strongly, but again, it's a matching process. So if I was to match kids with faith-based homes, I would certainly look at both sides and say, hey, are you open to this? And if they are, it's a very positive experience for them, and they feel connected because there's a lot of youth groups, there's a lot of peers that wrap around them. It's amazing what could be done in homes such as that.
Yeah, because you think even if they're defiant and different in their behavior, there must be a natural longing for a family.
There is. They want relationship. It's hard for them to step outside that box to continue to fuel a relationship because a lot of relationships in their past have been broken, whether by disruption or abuse, neglect. There's times where kids have been placed where it's just too much for the caregivers to handle and it's time for them to go, and there's a huge disruption in their world, and they once again feel failure in relationship building.
And unwanted.
Right. So we really tried to establish relationship, what that looks like, walk through it. If you ever met a new friend or are courting somebody, for example, you're constantly going through these hurdles in your relationship building. And so that's kind of how it is when you have a new kid in your home.
So what does the process involves? If somebody out there right now is watching and listening to us and want to be part of it, and at least try out to see if they're even a match for a kid, what are the steps?
Well, the first step would be contacting me. My number is 541-776-0497, extension 206. And my email is sdale@solutions, with an S, or.org. And you can either email me, contact me, we'll set up an initial consultation and see, you know, I'm probably going to throw a lot of information, like, are you sure you want to do this? And let's talk about it and why, or, you know, if you have concerns. And I always want them to give me as many questions as possible that I can answer. It is a life-changing decision.
You want to deal with them before they get a child.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I hope you get a lot of calls and a lot of emails, because I know last we talked, you told me even there are kids staying in hotels right now because there's just no
There's
room.
been some over the holidays that DHS has called me and said, you know, it's unfortunate this little guy is going to be in a hotel this weekend. And it's just so hard, you know, and you scramble really hard to find something. And so the more homes available, we have respite homes, we have, if you can't commit to a full-time foster parenting position, these kids need extended, stable people in their life. So respite homes are amazing for our foster homes.
Okay.
So it's...
Well, contact Shawnee Dale if you're interested. They're at Family Solutions. Her number is 541-776-0497, extension 206, and email sdale@solutions.or.org. And the information about the Family Solutions and the need for foster care families are on the Dove website, thedove.us. Go to the events calendar and just look it up there. Every week we are asking more and more people to be involved. Shawnee, thank you so much.
Thank you guys so much for having me on.
It's good to see you again.
Thank you.